In the quiet, digital corridors of the world's most critical infrastructure, a new kind of war is being waged. It is not fought with missiles, tanks, or standing armies, but with lines of code, administrative commands, and the exploitation of trust. The protagonist of this shadow conflict is a group known as Salt Typhoon, a state-sponsored actor linked to China that has fundamentally altered how security agencies and nations perceive the threat of cyber warfare. For years, cyber attacks were largely understood as espionage campaigns aimed at stealing trade secrets, intellectual property, or sensitive government emails. But Salt Typhoon represents a paradigm shift. This is not about theft, this is about preparation. It is the tactical pre-positioning of digital sabotage tools within the very foundations of Western society, waiting for a signal that may or may not come. To understand why Salt Typhoon is considered such a significant threat, we have to move past the Hollywood image of hackers crashing through firewalls in a blaze of flashing lights. Salt Typhoon's signature method is something cybersecurity experts call living off the land. This is a sophisticated and highly effective technique that relies on stealth over brute force. Rather than deploying custom, malicious malware that can be easily identified by antivirus software, these actors use the legitimate, built-in tools already present in the operating systems they infiltrate. By utilizing standard administrative utilities, like PowerShell, Windows management instrumentation, or network diagnostic tools, they mask their activity as routine system maintenance. To a standard security monitor, a Salt Typhoon operator looks exactly like a system administrator doing their job. They blend into the noise of everyday network traffic, allowing them to remain undetected for months, or even years, while they quietly map out the architecture of critical systems. Their targets are not the usual suspects. They are not chasing credit card numbers or banking passwords. Instead, their crosshairs are locked onto the systems that keep modern life functioning: water treatment plants, power grids, telecommunications networks, and transportation hubs. By embedding themselves into these environments, they are essentially planting digital landmines. The chilling reality is that if a geopolitical conflict were to arise, particularly concerning the tensions in the Taiwan Strait, these actors have the capability to disrupt, degrade, or destroy the systems that power everyday life. The objective is to create chaos and panic, to fracture public trust, and to delay or complicate the mobilization of military and emergency resources. The discovery of this activity has been a massive wake-up call for global intelligence agencies. The Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, comprising the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, has released multiple advisories warning that this is not a localized problem. It is a systematic effort. The sheer scale of these operations suggests an incredible amount of state coordination and resources. We are seeing a blurring of the lines between intelligence gathering and preparatory sabotage. In the past, cyber espionage was an intelligence activity. Now, it is transitioning into a military deterrent. It is a form of coercive diplomacy, where a nation signals that they have the power to turn off the lights of their adversaries if they choose to cross a red line. The difficulty in countering this threat cannot be overstated. Because these actors use legitimate credentials and native tools, the traditional defense model of detect and block is largely ineffective. You cannot simply block the tools an administrator needs to run a network. This has forced a fundamental change in cybersecurity doctrine. Defenders are now moving toward a model of constant vigilance, behavioral analysis, and extreme network segmentation. The focus is no longer just on keeping attackers out, but on assuming that they are already inside and building systems that can withstand their presence. It is a game of cat and mouse where the attackers have the home field advantage of knowing the network's geography, and the defenders are scrambling to re-engineer the terrain itself. The implications for international relations are profound. This silent war effectively expands the battlefield into every home and business connected to critical infrastructure. It means that the next global conflict may not start with a border incursion or a naval standoff, but with a series of coordinated, unexplained outages across a continent. It forces nations to view their power grids and water supplies not just as civil utilities, but as vital military assets that require constant, high-level defense. The strategy of the adversary is to ensure that the cost of intervention in a geopolitical dispute becomes too high for the public to bear. By holding the basic functions of daily life hostage, they aim to paralyze the decision-making process of Western governments. As we look toward the future, the activities of groups like Salt Typhoon serve as a stark reminder of the fragile nature of our hyper-connected world. We have digitized our entire existence, from the way we communicate to the way we sustain our cities, but our security architecture has lagged behind this rapid transformation. The era of assuming that cyberspace is a secondary theater of operations is over. It is now the primary domain where the balance of power is being negotiated, tested, and potentially broken. The challenge for the coming decade is not just about writing better code or building stronger firewalls, it is about resilience. It is about building societies that are robust enough to withstand these digital tremors and ensuring that the silent war remains just that, silent, contained, and ultimately, unable to achieve its destructive goals. We are witnessing the maturation of state-sponsored cyber warfare, and the world is still learning exactly how to respond to a threat that hides in plain sight.